You know when you head out with your camera with no expectations and then things unfold way beyond your wildest dreams? Yeah? Well, this was one of those evenings.
Oh man. That is absolutely incredible. Wow. It has been a really calm day today, and because it's been so calm, I wasn't quite expecting to get to the coast and for there to be such a big swell. The waves are absolutely incredible. And the light right now is amazing as well. Although we barely have any clouds in the sky, these are definitely my favourite evenings for photographing the sunset, because the light right now, how it's streaming past the water and glimmering on the surface, it is just incredible. One thing I'm a tad gutted about this evening is I could really do with having my 100 to 400mm lens with me, but I don't have it with me. But what I do have is my 24 to 200mm lens, and I'm going to make the most of this lens to really try and capture these waves. It's not easy photographing waves, they change so quickly, and especially when you're dealing with light like this, it is so bright. But let's enjoy it.
It's not that often that I come home from a trip out with the camera with a lot of images, but on this evening I created well over 200 photos. Many were deleted, but amongst the chaos, these were made.
This is so beautiful. It's such a challenge though, such a challenge to get the waves crashing at the right moment. And there's the most beautiful outcrop over there. When the waves come over, it would be the perfect foreground for a nice sort of half-second exposure of the beautiful water coming over, cascading over the rock with the sunset and the wave behind it. But the rocks out to it are just far too slippy. It's definitely not worth the risk. So instead I'm trying to play it as safe as possible, stay as close to shore as I can, and just try and get some images from here. Compositionally this is proving to be quite challenging, but safety must of course come first. So instead I'm just making the most of what I do have here and what I can photograph, and as the sun's getting lower in the horizon, we're getting some gorgeous opportunities here. Oh wow. Better take some video as well to show you. This is just amazing.
You're about to see a slideshow of images. I'd like to invite you to sit back and allow the music combined with the imagery to give you a few moments of peace. finish off the session, I turned the camera to portrait orientation. What a beautiful evening! And the images turned out much better than I could ever have dreamed.
I'm really not convinced that I've been in the right spot for this sunset. It's just, where the waves were crashing, it's so difficult to get a good composition, as well as battling with getting your shutter speed fast enough to freeze it in motion and battling with the lights and everything else. So I'm gonna head, I think, although there's a lot of people over there. You know, when you're a photographer, I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this when you're out and about. There's people everywhere. Especially when you're vlogging, you can get incredibly self-conscious. I was about to go over to another part of this coastline, but there's quite a lot of people over there, so I think I'm going to stay here. I was considering doing a little bit of, now the sun is literally about 2 minutes from going behind the hills and the horizon. I was going to go and try and find myself a nice spot for the post-sunset glow, do a little bit of long exposure photography, making the most of this swell that we have coming in around the rocks. I'm going to find myself a nice spot to do that, where there's not loads of people hanging around. That's always a challenge. Well, my hunt for a potential good foreground for doing some long exposure photography hasn't really gone to plan. Because the swell has been so high today, the rocks are just saturated, and the majority of them are also covered in seaweed as well. It's just far too dangerous tonight to go on these rocks and try and find a really interesting composition. It's not worth risking injury to self or death of camera. So instead I'm going to play it safe and head home. But this evening has been amazing. I was not expecting those waves. I mean, it's just wow. Do you know when you head out to a location and it ends up delivering something that you just were not expecting? It's 100% worth getting out and just embracing it. Tonight's been amazing. My intention for tonight, though, had been to take part in the Photographic Connections photography challenge that I've currently got going on over in the Photographic Connections community. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can click up here to watch the video, or you can head over to the Photographic Connections podcast to hear the story behind Photographic Connections and why I've set it up. But basically this month in April, we're all out photographing our favourite colour. And my favourite colour is somewhere between purple and burgundy. And trying to find that colour in nature can often be quite difficult, but purple can, of course, be available sometimes around sunsets and sunrise. So this evening I was hoping to get some lovely purples post-sunset, and we may still get that. I just got interrupted by some teenagers, so I've moved further along the bay. But as I was saying, I was out tonight trying to photograph the colour purple for the photography challenge for the Photographic Connections community. And we have got some nice purples appearing now over the sea. I may stay out another 10-15 minutes just to see what unfolds, but all of the best foreground compositions are right out at the other side of the rocks, because it's low tide just now. And as I was saying, all the other rocks are really wet. A, because the tide's just gone out, but B, whoa, that's amazing. Oh, the waves are just incredible. But B, because of the big swell we've got today. And I don't think it'd be particularly safe to go out there anyway, to be honest, right now. So I think I'm probably going to call it a night. The waves, absolutely incredible. Was not expecting this. Fantastic evening. And as I haven't been able to photograph purple this evening, I'm going to have to come out again the next few days and try again, which is what it's all about. If you want to get involved with the Photographic Connections community and get involved with monthly challenges, you can find all the details in the description box below. It's about Photographic Connections is just about getting us outdoors to connect with ourselves, with nature and with others through the art of photography. And if we head out for the challenge and don't succeed in getting an image that we'd hoped, it gives us the encouragement and motivation to get out again. And the more we can head out into nature with our camera, the more we're going to experience the benefits and the easier it's going to be to make a habit of it. And it's a very, very healthy habit. Being out, now the nights are getting longer, being out in the evening with your camera, it 100% beats sitting in front of the TV. You get time in nature, you get creative, and you can just, moments like this, moments of awe is incredible for your mental health. And tonight has certainly had many moments of awe. Wow. God, I just fall in love with this coastline more and more every day. And if you'd like to come here for yourself, you can find a link to all my workshops in the description box below. It's always a pleasure to take people out to experience this gorgeous coastline for themselves. As always, I want to say a huge thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday.